guys, Kim Stewart here. Hope everybody's having a really good day. This is the first time that we have done a webinar with only 2 people. So I'm here and Mike is producing me today. Basically, that means we may have a couple of little stumbles from here to there. Usually we have Hazel as well in here. She's not here today. So anyway, we are going to talk about today 5 key tools for creating effective digital business cards. And I'm just going to take a minute and get myself situated, jump right into the slides here. And 1 second. Well, that didn't go quite the way I thought it was going to. Are you flipped over to me? No, you're on you. Now it's on me. Uh-oh, why is it doing this? Why am I not able to stop it from doing this? Okay, just 1 moment. Technical difficulty, which really the technical difficulty is that I am doing something wrong. Okay, so when I bring you have to share your application. No, that doesn't work. It has to be my whole screen. If I do the application, it goes black. What is the problem here? Can you flip it back over to you, please? Okay. Give me a second. Okay, now flip it back over to me. I hope that this is going properly. There's kind of an odd sequence to how this works. We use Google Hangouts for our webinar broadcasting. They have like the world's most incredible bandwidth and lots of really neat auxiliary products. We actually use a company called Webinar Jam, and we really, really like them. The only problem is that, quite frankly, I forgot how to set it up. So now I think we're good to go. Anyway, so the title, topic, whatever you want to call it, of today's webinar is going to be about creating a digital branding plan and the 5 key tools that you're going to want to use to create some digital branding tools that you're going to be able to use to greatly increase your conversions. What we're seeing is generally somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 times the conversion rate of email alone. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to talk about how to increase your engagement. We're going to talk about how you can improve your results dramatically. That's the 15 times better than traditional email campaigns that I just mentioned. We're going to talk about how you can effectively manage your groups. One of the really good things about our digital business card product is that it will make your life a lot easier. If you are a business consultant, for instance, who works with a variety of different teams, perhaps in the same business, let's say you've got a technical team and you've also got a marketing team, and you don't want to give both teams the same material, they don't get the same updates, and so on and so forth. Well, you're going to be able to logically set your groups up so that you can effectively communicate with the groups as needed and not involve other groups that really don't need to be in the communication loop. One of the big things that the digital business cards and the digital branding products do, they allow you to close more and close more often. One of the biggest things that I'm sure you already know is that when you have people in your funnel and they're active in your pipeline, the more that you message them, obviously with content and with offers and things that they really like, the better they're going to respond to you. I know I was talking with a couple people in one of my Facebook groups the other day, and we were talking about different companies who had a really good handle on messaging, just enough, not too much, value added. And the one thing that we determined was the 3 or 4 that we decided had like the best brand marketing were doing a really good mix of giving away free things. One of them was a company called Lead Pages, and they are a landing page A/B testing company. It's leadpages.net, and they have some of the best marketing and branding that I've seen in a long time. They don't mail every day to their list. They usually mail about 3, maybe 4 times a week to their list, but every other mailer is some sort of a really good freebie. One of the really neat things, like right now they're running an 11 video Facebook advertising how to plan sort of thing. And it's really well thought out. They've brought in some of their more prominent customers to do some of the segments with them. It goes into a lot of detail. I learned a couple things about Power Editor and business accounts that I did not realize were actually a better way to manage that advertising. So we're going to close today with a step-by-step recap of what the plan is to take the digital branding product, the digital business card, and to turn that into an effective course of action that will help you with your calls to action. So I guess the first takeaway is that list building is only the first step. When you are building your list and you're spending a lot of time and a lot of energy getting your lead generation list together, in a lot of cases, a lot of you are spending a lot of money getting your lead generation lists together. But that's really only the beginning, because until you have moved every person that you possibly can from the prospect list into the closed sale list, your work isn't done. And realistically, even if you have moved someone into the closed sale list, your work is still not done. Everybody knows that the best customer is an existing customer, and having the ability to contact, interact with, engage with your customers anytime via their digital phone, that's a really powerful, powerful situation. So I'm going to tell you really quickly a little something about me. Who am I? Well, I'm Kim Stewart, obviously. I've been online since 1996 full-time. I realize that some of you are probably saying, well, I wasn't even born in 1996.
I'm not seeing that. Sorry, I'll keep clapping.
Can you?
I'm seeing it now. It's just me. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so anyway, wow, I almost had a heart attack there. I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to start from the beginning, which is not such a big deal if we were going to edit this out for a replay. But then it means that everybody who has been seeing it so far hasn't actually seen any of the slides. And there haven't been any really great slides yet. I haven't done anything really all that interesting. So anyway, back to who I am. Online since 1996. Kind of one of the originals, especially as far as the e-commerce goes. I do a lot of e-commerce. I do and have done a lot of affiliate and advocate marketing. I have a very, very strong background in transaction processing and fraud control. That's one of my big strengths, going back to the e-commerce. Business research and analytics for e-commerce, mobile, apps, etc. Pretty much if it comes to you through the airwaves and it's not on your TV or radio, I have been involved in it for a pretty long time. And if I have not, one of our other partners has been. So our management team, there are 3 of us, and Michael is here doing the producing for the webinar today. You can say hello, Michael.
Hello.
And he has a communications technology background, which is large scale, large efficiencies at scale. A lot of the satellites that are up in the orbit that actually bring you stuff, he had something to do with some of those along the way. And Hazel is not here today with us. Hazel has been in affiliate marketing since 1999. She and one of her business partners had one of the original live streaming software companies, and they sold that a few years ago, at which point she and I started working on app development, and we're working with some medium-sized app development houses to help them market their products. And this is sort of how we ended up here. If you guys have done any apps, or if you haven't done any apps, then the thing you got to realize about apps is that unless you are Disney or Rovio or EA Games, your app is so unlikely to be noticed without a huge, huge marketing budget. Or, you know, okay, Starbucks, great one right there. Starbucks, Sephora, these are companies with huge, giant customer bases and huge, giant leveraging processes. So yeah, it's great for them to have an app. It works really well for them. One thing I want to talk about is just a tiny little bit of sort of the historical, how did we get here? Where are we? You may or may not realize that our products leverage Apple Passbook and Google Wallet. Now, those are apps. The uniqueness of those being apps is that they are native apps produced by Apple and Google respectively. And it takes the distribution scenario right out of the equation. All that you have to do as a digital product creator is worry about creating your product and then worry about getting your prospects or your clients or your students to download the card itself into their mobile phone. You don't have to worry about App Store applications, developers supporting it, what screen size, this, that, and the other. So way back in the day, this image that I just popped up, this is from 1994. And I'm sure that a number of you are looking at it going, wow, who is that? It is Bryant Gumbel and Katie Couric. They were on a really popular morning show. Was it Today's Show or Good Morning America?
Yeah, one of them.
Oh, golly gee. So anyway, this is from a Super Bowl ad from this past Super Bowl, actually. They are now advertising a brand new BMW electric car. And the point of the ad is it refers back to a video clip, if you haven't seen the ad or the video clip from 1994 when they were discussing the internet. And the big question that they had was, what is internet? How does internet work? What is internet? Allison, can you tell us what internet is? They didn't know if the @ symbol meant at or around. They didn't realize that the dot went into the .com. And there were a lot of people that were in that same boat at that same time. Nobody realized, nobody was sure, let's put it like that, that this internet thing was actually going to stick around and that we would do anything with it. So way back in 1998, there were some other companies that were doing pretty well on the internet. One of whom happened to be a little tiny bookstore called Amazon.com. And Amazon.com Apple.com reported $610 million in sales for the year of 1998. I think they also had something like $125 million in overall losses for the year, somewhere in there. But people were buying books on the internet back then. People were not, sadly, buying furniture on the internet back then. And you're probably sitting here wondering, well, what does furniture actually have to do with Amazon or 1998 or digital business cards or anything else, really? And it just goes a little bit back to some more history about me. I had one of the first 3 furniture stores on the internet way back in 1998. This is a screenshot that I pulled up the other day from the Wayback Machine, and the images no longer appear, obviously, because they're no longer in there, but this is the text from the December cover version. You will notice that I actually had a loyalty program in place, even all the way back then. You know, it was a big, giant failure. It really was. I was watching a marketing video that one of our customers sends out to their new Twitter followers the other day. Really nice couple. They're from the South, so obviously I like them already, if you can't tell from my accent. And he used the phrase broke, busted, and disgusted to describe where they were about a year and a half ago when they started their online marketing business. They had been through a bankruptcy. They lost their restaurant. They lost their house. Pretty much everybody I know who has been really, really successful in online marketing, internet marketing, digital marketing has some kind of story like that to tell. I don't know a whole lot of people, including Jeff Bezos, who just ran out of the gate and were so super successful that they never had any setbacks and they never had any problems. One of the great things about internet marketers is that we just keep on kicking it no matter how many times you get knocked down. So my real point here is that if you look back to the mid to late 90s, what you see is the internet was a passing fad. The internet was going nowhere. Nobody was going to use the internet for anything. And, you know, today the internet is just as much a part of our daily lives, pretty much, as electricity or the telephone. So that's where we're going with the digital phones and the smartphones and stuff like that. So I like to say that sometimes little ideas can take a little getting used to. I was pulling up stats from a Pew Research survey from the end of the year last year, October through December. And here's some kind of interesting tidbits that we'll talk about right quick. Almost 2/3 of US adults have smartphones. Now, the thing that I find to be really interesting, and if you run an online coaching or you have an online course that you promote, that you've developed, this one should probably be an interesting wake-up call for you. 19% of smartphone owners have fewer options for access than their smartphone, or they have no broadband at home. So what that means is that in 19% of the cases, smartphone owners prefer to use their smartphone to access the internet because it is their best internet option. 7% of these people have no other option. So their smartphone is their connection to the world. All kinds of people use smartphones, everybody from 10-year-old kids to 80-year-old ladies. You know, navigation, maps, communication, etc., etc. One thing that I find interesting is that the lower income / smartphone dependent users that we talked about above, because most of them do tend to be lower income, they are very likely to use their phone for job and employment resources. So a couple of the things that we say about our phones. We're kind of split on I can't live without it or I really don't always need it. 70% of people find it to give them more freedom. That's not quite what I expected. I really thought that one would be more along the half and half line too. The big one, the important one, is that 93% of people find their phone to be helpful versus 7% of the people who find it to be annoying. That's still 7% of people who do find it to be annoying, but it's nowhere near the size that I thought that was going to be. How do we use our phones? Younger users, the 25 and under crowd, 93% of them are using their phone to avoid being bored at some point in their day. A little over half of us learn about events, community events, other notices for activities and stuff like that. Here's a big one. Again, if you are running an online course or you're thinking about developing an online course, fully 30% of the smartphone population is taking a class or getting other educational content directly to their smart device. That's a huge number. And 43% of people are looking up information about a job. No big deal there, except for the fact that 18% of people are actually submitting a job application using their phone. So the phone has, over the last 10 years, become so many things. It has replaced a number of things in our daily lives. It's now our camera. It's our telephone / text messenger. It is one of the ways that we entertain ourselves or that we entertain others in a group. Obviously, one of the big first things that we had was GPS in phones, and it kind of took away paper maps. So communication device, calendar, map, camera, notepad, plenty of stuff, lots and lots and lots of stuff. And what you see on the right there is an actual digital business card that I created the other day. And I did it as a demo for this webinar. We are going to very quickly here dive into our admin for our digital device products and have a look at how quickly, simply, and easily this tool is to use and the minimum of things that you need to actually be able to create a digital business card, a digital branding card, call it whatever you want, that you will drop into a prospect or a client or a student's phone, and you will then use to communicate with them anytime you want and at any place you want. So now what? The next big thing is a big stack of alligator wallets. No, just kidding. Obviously, the next big thing is the mobile wallet. We were at a function at Google the other night. It was specifically a Google Wallet function, and I can tell you that they are 100% behind the mobile wallet. Not just for payments, for offers, for engagement. There are a lot of big companies who have come to realize just how effective the mobile wallet is as a marketing tool. Right now, I would say that it is much more effective as a marketing tool than it is as a payments tool. Now, that is fairly likely to change over the next 12 months. Mobile wallets are going to be a dominating technology. Everybody either has one, is making one, will make one. I mean, you know, quite frankly, they can't afford to not have one. We've already seen Amazon launch one and dump one. Big players at the moment are obviously Google Wallet and Apple Pay. Facebook has just come out with the initial payments feature, which is sort of like a PayPal peer-to-peer money transfer in their Messenger app last month. And just this week, Microsoft has announced that they are going into the payments business, and they've applied for the licenses to do so in all 50 US states. Samsung has a wallet. I'm sure Alibaba has a wallet in the market. You know, everybody's got one. You know, as I say, your dog, if you happen to be this really cute little dog, your dog could probably make a wallet right now and stand to get as much traction as some of these other companies will. It's really pretty likely that there are only going to be 2 or 3 dominant players when this shakes out, but it's still too early to pick the winners and the losers. So I want to right now talk to you about the front of the digital business card, and then we're going to dive right into the admin. So the things that we're going to look at are how to increase engagement, how to get into someone's wallet, communicating effectively with them once you're in their wallet, and the most important one is engaging the user. I cannot stress this enough. Engaging often but properly is such a huge thing. Otherwise, you run the risk of turning your users against the product. And while they are not able to delete the Passbook app from their iPhone, they are able to delete your message and your card if they wish to go that route. So I'm going to flip over to the other computer and we're going to dive right in. Over here. Okay, so this is our admin. I'm already logged in. Our actual big company platform name is Mobile Savings, which is mobilesavings.net. We make a platform that is very flexible and very scalable. We work with retailers such as clothing stores, shoe stores, etc. We work with restaurants. We have some country clubs doing some really neat things, and we also have the current focus is on a digital business card product that can be used by individuals who are executive and business coaches, mastermind leaders, online course creators, lean startup strategists, pretty much anyone who has a list of either prospects, clients, or students that you want to keep in your funnel, keep moving through your funnel, more effectively convert while they're in your funnel. So this is our really simple admin. And my demo, I'm going to throw up here. You'll recognize, oh, no, sorry. I'm going to edit. So anyway, what we have here is this is a 3-part situation. And we're going to look at the first part right now, which is called the campaign details. Now, in order to have a card that has almost no effort in making, we have what is called our little template library right here. And as you can see, I've got a couple of random or not so random templates in here. I'm going to use this one, which is called Kim Card for lack of a more creative title. And the title, when somebody sees who it's coming from, it's going to be coming from me, Kim Stewart. And my title is Free Training Webinar. I can use this card actually the way it is in some Facebook advertising. As long as I don't put a barcode on it, and as long as I don't try to use the backside, I can use a screenshot of it in my Pinterest promotions. If you guys are running any of the, I know they're still in beta, but any of the paid Pinterest promotions. So this takes just a couple of things. It takes a logo, and what I actually did here was I simply made a logo that was exactly the same color, just a single color as the rest of my card, because I wanted to focus on my free training webinar at the top of the card, and I didn't want anything else to detract from that. So my banner, as you can see, is, oh, this isn't the same computer anyway. So this part is my banner right here where we've got the sort of robin's egg, my picture, and then I choose a background color. And if you want to do more than the standard 16 web safes, then you can come down here. And the same thing with the text color. Now, you have the option of a barcode. It's not really a barcode, it's a QR code. And there's Aztec, QR, and the PDF 417s. If you are a retailer or a restaurateur, or you are running some kind of a points or loyalty setup with the digital product, then you may want to consider using the barcode. I do use the barcode, and I'm going to show you how I use it as we go forward. So then I'm going to flip over here to the campaigns. I'm going to go back. Why do I keep doing that? Okay. You do get stats, obviously. You keep seeing my stats because I can't seem to remember which direction I need to go here. So anyway, one of the things that I did here, and you'll see, I'll show you right now, I can type in these top 2 lines here where it says coupon description, and it will type, you can see where it's typing right there. I didn't like that. I thought it detracted from the look of my card, so I opted to leave those 2 lines empty and just put my name in here on my graphic instead. My next line, as you can see, is digital branding opportunities and free webinar, sign on that of card, edit, just real quickly right there. So I said the customer would redeem the coupon in the store, and I chose to use the barcode. The reason that I did this was because I want to, just like you would in a Google ad or any other little small ad, LinkedIn, whatever, I want to get absolutely the most out of every single character that is available to me. So I use the barcode line to instruct my users, as you can see, to press the I for more information on their iPhone. A lot of people are still kind of leery. Maybe they don't understand exactly how the whole thing works. So I like to give them some extra instructions. Once they've interacted with your card a time or 2, they really get the hang of it. And as soon as something pops up on their lock screen, because it's a notification, they're like, oh, yeah, great, I see this. Or you send some sort of an update, they get an update right there. They look at it, they're like, oh, wow, new article. I'm going to click directly through. We're going to look at how those things occur shortly, because that's going to be on the back of the card. And I'll be honest with you, the back of the card is where all the really cool stuff happens, but the front of the card is where all the really good looking stuff happens. Now, we give you, as a bonus, well, today actually, I'm going to give you a little bonus. It's going to be some free graphics, so stick around until the end, and I will put the link up. I'm going to give you 100 free graphics that are pre-formatted, pre-sized, cropped, ready to go. It's like drag and drop, throw them in here and use them, and you are literally probably maybe 45 seconds to having that template created and another minute to having the front of your card made. So we're only 2 minutes into this right now, and we already have the front of our card sorted out. So now I'm going to flip back over to the slides. I'm back. Okay, so get in their wallet. This is how you get in their wallet. You have a really nice looking card. We just went over the fact that you can do the front of that card in 2 minutes or less, and I'm going to give you graphics. I'm going to give you 100 graphics, and that's going to be enough to get you started. Now, I can tell you right now that in that 100 graphics, your picture is not going to be there because we don't have that kind of relationship yet. If you are sad about it and you decide to sign up and you want to shoot me over a picture of yourself, I'll be more than happy to lay you one of those out real quick. Just one though, that's all. So we just took a look at the admin area, and this is just a quick recap. So we created our template. That was 2 images and 1 line of text, the 1 line of text being the past title. Then we picked 2 colors, background, text. Then we added a little bit more text. We did the 2 lines of description that we didn't even use because I didn't like it, the way that the layout looked, and we used the additional information. And remember my little trick that I showed you for the barcode and how you can get more mileage out of the available lines of characters on the card by utilizing that barcode as an instructional instead of as a redemption. Again, like I say, it's like going to Google and trying to figure out how you're going to fit in exactly the 75 characters and the 25 characters and the 35 on 2 lines. You just got to think about it a little bit. It doesn't take a lot of work. So, awesome. We made a card. Now, what are we going to do with it? So, we need to get the card onto your user's phone. And this is going to occur in any number of ways. Over here on the left, you can see that I've made my card. Here's all the stuff that goes into it. So how am I going to get people to use this? Well, I can include the URL link to download the card in my emails. If you've got a list and you're already mailing your list, this should be like the first line in your list every time. If you are sending out anything other than a thank you, and actually even a thank you, because we're going to talk about groups and managing users in groups. So email, SMS, same thing. If you are SMS messaging and you send somebody a text message with the URL in it, as soon as they click it on their phone, it is going to drop your card right into their phone in literally 2 clicks. One to click the URL, one to say yes. The other option, if somebody is in a point of sale situation or an existing advertising situation where you have print ads or you have TV ads running, I know some of you are big time and that's the sort of ads you do, or you have an event and you're going to print up some stand-up cards or posters or whatever to hang at your event, get the QR code on there. Get it in there. It's in addition to, not in lieu of, your current advertising. You know, we want to supercharge your conversions. So we're going to take what you're doing right now. We are going to amp it up. It's, you know, it's literally like engagement on nitrous, as another chick you guys probably, some of you may be familiar with. Ooh, it's like Hangouts on nitrous. No, this is like mobile phones on nitrous. So a couple of just fun facts, random numbers here, as they relate to what sort of expectations you would have with the cards. Hillshire Farms, if you're not vegan or vegetarian, I'm sure you know who Hillshire Farms is. And I'm using this as an example because they are a big, huge brand, and they did a specifically branding-oriented campaign. They did it in targeted retail locations across major metro areas with a company called In Market, who is a big, giant digital branding company that works with a lot of big, giant companies. They used iBeacons, which, just by the way, you're probably sitting here going, well, I don't even know what an iBeacon is, Kim, and that's great. You don't have to know what an iBeacon is. There are a lot of articles in our blog that detail how iBeacons work, and you can use iBeacons if you want to. We'll be more than happy to ship you an iBeacon if you want to get in touch with us about that. You also have the geofencing, which comes standard on the cards. So if you've got users that are going to be in, say you are having an event, and you're going to have a bunch of your clients or your mastermind group or your students, you guys are all going to be at, you know, Pressnomics or, you know, the 2-day weekend mastermind group, whatever. You can set up location-based notifications that will help you, for instance, to direct everyone who's coming to your particular talk. You know, send them all a notification when they get within range of the building that says, hey, I'm going to be in ballroom C starting in 15 minutes. Come on over. Or, you know, another good thing you can do with it is you can let them know if there's been a change in your venue. My room was moved from ballroom C to ballroom B, for instance. The other thing that we found out with the Hillshire Farms experiment is the 36% increase in brand awareness led to a 20 times more effective conversion rate for the people that installed the digital promotion cards. So this was so impressive to Hillshire Farms that they decided, they're owned by a big company, isn't everybody these days, to use this process to promote other brands that they have in their stable. I did a video the other day, which I'm going to, actually Mike is going to cue it up and play it. It really is a much better explanation of how the back of the pass, which is where we're going next, is able to communicate and to do so many really neat, wonderful things. You can launch a phone dialer. You can launch maps, give people driving directions. There's so many really great things that you can do. However, it's so much easier to just see it in the video, and then we'll talk again after the video very briefly, and then I'm going to show you how everything you see in the video can be achieved in like 2 minutes, and that the total creation time on the digital business card is less than 5 minutes. So, Mike, can you swap to video?
It's showing now.
So I made a really cool slide here for everybody who's not in the live webinar, in case we don't go back and edit the video into it. You're missing this like really cool video. Actually, if you go to the Facebook page for either Mobile Savings or Atlas Rewards, you can find the video there. And perhaps Mike will go back and edit the video into the webinar replay. Not sure.
Okay.
Wow, that 90 seconds does take a long time when there's nothing going on here, doesn't it? People are going to be calling saying they want that 90 seconds of their life back. I saw your replay. I didn't get to see your video. Show me your video, please, please. It's a great video, though.
It is. Okay, and we're back.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, I made that video. That's another really, really cool little company that all of you marketers, if you haven't seen it, you should take a look at it. It's called Powtoon. You know, it's really sad. I should be like running affiliate links for all these different things that I'm recommending. But one of the things that we do know is that when you are in the marketing business, there are certain things that people tend to gravitate to, certain products that really do work, and we are another one of those products. We're actually looking at some ways to do some integrations with a couple of these other companies that I've mentioned. It'll be a little ways down the road, though. Simple ways to increase the engagement: updates to messages, location notifications, deep linking. Now, you can, if any of you are in the apps business as well as the marketing business, if you want to do deep linking directly into your apps from the back of these cards, I don't see any reason why you can't do that. We currently have no skin in the apps game, so to speak. When Hazel saw the Passbook, the Apple Passbook product, not quite 2 years ago, she came back and said, oh my God, you have to look at this. You have to see this. This is going to be like one of those aha moments. And she showed it to me. She'd been at a meetup because, you know, we all live in San Francisco area and there are more meetups than there are days of the week. Meetups are really, really popular here. And we saw it. We looked at it. We talked to the original guy who was pushing the technology that she met originally, and that didn't work out. So we kind of struck out on our own and have done our own thing here because we are really more about the marketing and how you can use the product to interact and engage with people than we are about the technical specifications. It's going to work. It's going to be compatible. It's going to be updated. You don't have to worry about any of that. All you have to worry about is crafting your message and getting your cards into people's wallets so that they will in turn engage with you. You will sell more. You will sell faster. You will find that it's a bit more of a soft sell. And you can include some really nice CTAs on the back of the card. You can launch the apps that are native to Apple, as you saw in the video. Maps, Safari, phone dialing, all that stuff. You don't have to do anything. You can see right here in my admin, all I did was I just typed it in, straight, plain language, and there we go. There's no tags, there's no this or that or the other. So I want to take just one moment and talk about how you would manage your groups. If you run a variety of different groups, so you've got a course for this and you are in a mastermind for that and you market for this product and you do some affiliate sales for another product, or maybe you've got a JV with somebody else, you guys are going to do some joint marketing on the JV, and you can literally set up as many groups as you need. You go and each campaign would be a different group. Manage it that way, kind of like you do your Facebook advertising campaigns, where you have your campaign, which is kind of your big overall thing, and then you've got your ad sets. So these would be comparable to your advert sets in your Facebook. There are no limits to the number of groups you can have. There are no limits to the number of users that you can have within each group. Users can be members of multiple groups as long as they've downloaded the card and installed it. Your messaging to each one of your groups is independent. That way, if you only want to send a message to a certain segment, then only send the message to that segment. If you want to send a message to multiple segments, yep, it's multiple messages. There's no way around that. Maybe at some point down the road, but right now it's a manual process. So, no, I made a mistake. Okay, so we're going back to the admin. And I'm going to show you how the back of the cards is updated and how it works. Okay, so I'm gonna, where's my, okay, so additional information. This is how you make all the brilliant things happen on the back of the card. You watched the video already, and there are some slides. These will go up on SlideShare probably later on today. They'll be on our websites as well. Editing or adding a new field is so simple. Buy now, 50% discount today only. And then you would put in whatever your link is to your sales page, sales.mysterycompany.com. Okay. Save it. We have just added a new field. It's on our pass card and it is ready to go. And you will update. As you can see, the update's really simple. I just updated. Everybody's been updated in the next minute or so. All of my digital business cards that are installed will be updated with my bogus fake URL on it. The other thing that is really, really cool, and again, if you are doing live events or if you're working with a local business or you are more of a local business type, you have two different ways of triggering automatic messaging. One of those ways is location notification. For instance, I already have this one preset. And if you come to our office, which is in Pleasanton, then your phone will pop up a notification that says to you, hey, you're here. What can we do for you? Can we get you something to drink? We have another one of our customers who uses, anyway, Foursquare, what I was going to say. Got off track there. Foursquare is the database that pulls the locations up automatically. If you have a non-traditional location, like for instance, one of our clients is a country club and they have the ability to notify the members that they should probably go ahead and order their lunch while they're at the golf course so they can pick it up when they make the turn. If you're not a golfer, you have no idea what I'm talking about, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time dwelling on this. Suffice it to say that it's a great way to use the location-based notifications. Trade shows, at your actual office. You know, one of the other things that we've seen people do is things like scavenger hunts where you get to a certain place. It's kind of like if you remember geocaching from the way back. Then we have iBeacons, which if you want to incorporate iBeacons, then send me an email. I'll get some of those sent out. They're generally, I think we saw those for $39 a piece. We don't give them away free with the digital business card campaigns because right now we are not charging a setup charge for the digital business cards. And one of the things the setup charge includes is a free iBeacon. So if you could, Michael, I'm going to have you put up the pop in. How can you go to it? Just 1 second, guys. So we've given the admin a pretty good whirl. Oh, no. How did you lose that? Anyway, okay. So that's kind of a problem. I'll have to deal with that shortly.
Okay, back to you.
Back to me. Back to the slides.
Okay, you're up.
Okay,
No,
so
I don't think it's stopping. I don't think it's worked. Stand by. Sorry. Oh, you're good. Yeah.
okay, so anyway, one of the things that I told you at the beginning that we were really going to look at was increasing your conversions by using the digital business cards. So you've seen the video, you've seen the admin, you realize by now that in less than 5 minutes you can create, update, change, or manipulate your business cards and have those deployed and dispersed to the appropriate users immediately. We're going to use these to drive web traffic. If you've got a new blog post, send out the link. Social media update, send out the link. Don't be shy. Send out the links so that users are always updated. This is like such a powerful key tool to being able to communicate effectively and immediately with your customer base or your prospect list or your students, you know, and launch a related app. You want them to call you, tell them to call you. It's a push button. Push the phone number, call me now. Send them directly to your sales page. Send them directly to the upsell links in your cart software if your shopping cart software is set up for that. It's so simple. There's so little to this. It's so easy to use. It is so engaging, and people will engage with you and they will act. So now we're kind of down to the end. We've got the step-by-step plan here. And number one is the card layout. Simple is better. 2 images. Don't get overboard with like fussy little images. Simple images. You know, phones are decent size, but even the iPhone 6 is not that big. Watch out with those logos. Keep them very simple. Don't use the upper lines of text if they don't look good with your graphics. Can you just go ahead and queue up the one that you have on the top one there, the digital one? It's not the right offer, but that's okay. We're going to queue up an offer. This is
free setup. Creator.
Free setup. Yeah, that's it. Actually, never mind. That is the right offer. I told you that we would give you an opportunity to sign up today if you wanted to for a reduced rate. We don't reduce rates very often, but since we're not doing the iBeacon as part of this, that's one of the reasons why we can actually do it and get away with it today. So, short and simple messages. You want to engage and you want to interact. Too many messages or messages that are too long that people can't take in at first glance, those really, you want to avoid those. Think of it as similar to creating a Google ad or, you know, a little Facebook mobile ad, something like that. You have a very limited amount of space. You want to make the most of it, so choose your word carefully. Additional fields on the back. Now, as you saw in the video and in the admin, this is where what I like to call the real action happens. Be creative. Think about what it is you want to shepherd your flock into doing next, and, you know, work with that. Deep linking to your fresh content, drip feeding content directly in there every day. If you want to do an update every day, or if you've got a VA and you want to have them do your updates every day. Updates need to be done regularly. Just like your email list or just like your SMS list or anything else that's in your funnel, if you are not in the habit of regular engagement and communication with your funnel, when you message them, the first thing they think of is, who is this? I forgot all about them, and why are they messaging me? You know, we talked about lead pages. They're absolutely fantastic. AppSumo, for any of you guys who are on their list, another one, totally fantastic. I wasn't sure I was going to like them a few months ago, and now I really do, because it seems like we're only getting quality mail instead of a lot of mail, usually once a week, maybe every 10 days, and it's running at about 2 good things that are things we like, 2 or 3 things that we're really not interested in. We were looking at like a 1 in 10 originally, and now I'm a unsubscribed, but you know, the guy is a master at email marketing, so I wanted to keep an eye on what he was doing. You want to keep an eye on your stats. Too many deletions means that you are spamming, or maybe you're just not sending good messages. You know, you've got a conversion rate here, and the good thing about the conversion rate here is that, honestly, people are lazy. Once they put your card into their mobile wallet, once it's on their phone, they're not that likely to uninstall it unless you really push it to the point that they are annoyed. Last but not least, you have to tell people to actually install the card. Just taking 5 minutes and making a great card, that's great. That's fantastic. But if you never tell people to install it, they never will. You can put the link to the card directly into your Facebook. You can put it on your website. You can put it in your email blasts. You can put it in your SMS blasts. You can put the QR code on any piece of print or visual advertising that you're going to have. This is so simple and this is so easy. But the one thing we see that people desperately forget to do is actually tell someone to install the card. You know, you can create a variety of cards. We talked about managing groups. One of the very first ones that I would suggest that you create is sort of an about me card, and leverage that. You can always put links to other cards in your existing cards. If you want to split your groups or do some changes to your demographics in your marketing, split the cards. Send them an update that has a new link on it. But again, you have to tell them to install the cards. The cards do not install themselves. I want to be 100% clear about that. Your only job is to spend 5 minutes to make the card and then to tell people to install the card. Okay, so I'm off my soapbox with that one. So pretty much at this point, that is the end of our webinar today. We have a link up that you can use to get to our sign up, which is the $99 a month, no setup fee. $99 a month pretty much gives you unlimited card and unlimited group, unlimited messaging, unlimited. The only thing you don't get is the iBeacon, but like you say, if you're aggravated about that, shoot me over an email and we can talk about it, and we will get you something sorted out for that. I have one last thing for everybody who stayed through to the end. Can you take the digital business card off of there, Michael?
Okay, here we go.
And I don't know why this did not get into your admin. Anyway, I told you guys if you stayed through to the end that I would give you 100 free business card images. These are pre-formatted. They are ready to go, ready to use. And no, I am not doing questions today. Normally I would do questions, but there was so much material to cover, and no, we really wish you would do questions. No questions today. Sorry, we're just out of time. Here's your download link for the 100 free business card images. Now, this is kind of a decent sized file. If you're on your phone, you may want to consider the fact that it's 11.5 megs. Maybe wait until you get to, I don't know, it depends on what kind of phone you have. Actually, that is a good question. Can you administer this from your phone? iPhone 6, yes. iPad mini, yes. I've done it from my Android phone before, and it works kind of okay. I mean, it's very tiny and it's very small, and if you've got fat fingers like me, you will find that to be kind of problematic. My iPhone, I really struggle to try to administer it from there, unless it is like a really, really simple update. I will try to build a card from scratch. I will do the updates, like I say, as long as they're really, really simple. So you've got your download link, and that's free images. I want to thank you guys for coming today. We'll run a replay here shortly, probably in the next few hours. And all the attendees will get a replay first. Anybody who signed up but did not attend will get the replay, I'm going to say probably tomorrow. And we may run this one as a limited time replay because really I think we have enough material in here to do 2 different classes. And we're probably going to bust it up into 2 classes for the next one. But you guys have a great day. And I wish you all the best. I don't really, at the end of the day, suppose that it matters whether you're using our digital business card product or somebody else's digital business card product. The most important thing is that you get in and start using it now. And that's it from me. Thanks.